pathological stuff ahead for you. So let's go to the GIST. So GIST is the commonest mesenchymal tumor of GIT. It arises from interstitial cells of Cajal. In Spanish, you can spell it, pronounce it as Cajal. So interstitial cells of Cajal, they are present within myenteric plexus of muscularis propria, and they are known to generate spontaneous electrical activity, and they are regarded as the electrical pacemaker of GIT. This GIST can also be seen in extra GIT location as well. The commonest extraintestinal sites include omentum, mesentery, retroperitoneum, and even pleura can be the site. Now, GIST can be associated with the neurofibromatosis type 1, or it could be a part of a syndrome, familial syndrome that is known as Carney triad. Just remember this. This is often asked. Carney triad is a non-hereditary syndrome of GIST, paraganglioma, and pulmonary chondroma. So a triad of these three constitutes Carney triad, and this is more commonly seen in females and more common in children. So now coming to the pathogenesis, it's extremely important to understand the pathogenesis because that forms the basis of the treatment in the GIST. So majority of the GIST or gastrointestinal stromal tumors have KIT mutation or PDGFRA. PDGFRA stands for platelet-derived growth factor receptor alpha. So both of these KIT and PDGFRA mutation, they trigger the tyrosine kinase receptor phosphorylation, and which leads to cell growth proliferation and increased cell survival. So all of these lead to the neoplasm development. The GIST basically develops because of tyrosine kinase activity, increased tyrosine kinase phosphorylation. Now, a minor portion of the GIST can be without KIT or PDGFRA, and they may have mutations encoding succinate dehydrogenase complex. So mutation involves the gene that involves the succinate dehydrogenase complex, the mitochondrial cycle. So mutation that causes the loss of succinate dehydrogenase function confers an increased risk of Carney syndrome. So remember, Carney syndrome we had studied in the last slide. So Carney syndrome is associated with mutation of succinate dehydrogenase coding gene. So that is the thing that you need to remember. And if we speak about the commonest one, so KIT is the most common one, almost like 75% of the cases, and the rest of almost like 20% of the cases of PDGFRA, and rest 5 to 10% cases may be of mutations involving this succinate dehydrogenase complex. Now let's go to the morphological features. So morphological features include that the gross size is averaging is around 5 to 6 centimeter, and overall the size varies from 0.5 to 40 centimeters. So you may see a tumor as small as a 0.5 centimeter tumor, or a tumor as large as 40 centimeter tumor. Generally, they form a solitary, well circumscribed fleshy mass. And often we see that the overlying mucosa is ulcerated, and the cut surface is again fleshy, tan pink, and a bit of whorled appearance may be seen in many of the tumors, with occasional areas of hemorrhage and cystic changes may be enumerated. METs are also common, and metastasis can form multiple serosal nodule throughout the peritoneal cavity or sometimes within liver. So coming to the microscopic feature, based on the microscopic features, there are 3 types. Spindle shell type, that is the most common type, with proliferation of spindle cells, and usually the spindle cells are thin spindle cells. Epithelioid cells, proliferation of much plumper cell, and the cells appear quite polygonal or epithelial appearing like cells are seen. Now, proportion of the tumors could be a mixture of the 2 patterns that also could be seen. The most useful diagnostic markers, immunomarkers that are used for the diagnosis of GIST is DOC1. This is called as discovered on gastrointestinal tumor 1. So it's called as a dog1 protein, fairly sensitive and specific for GIST. So you need to remember this, almost 98% sensitivity is there. Now KIT CD117 is another important ISC marker, almost 95% sensitivity is there. And CD34 PDGFRA, these stains also may be positive. So CD34 sometimes stains positive. Now SMA stain is variable. Majority of the cases SMA is negative, but some of the cases of GIST may be staining positive for SMA as well. In different case series, it has been found that SMA may be positive in them. S100 is strictly negative. Now, to differentiate between the two common mesenchymal lesions, that is leiomyoma and GIST, we may employ desmin, SMA, and CD117. Generally, leiomyoma will be desmin positive and CD117 negative, and SMA will be always positive, whereas this GIST will be most likely CD117 positive, and SMA almost negative, sometimes may be positive. So CD117 is the main marker which distinguishes from them. And of course, desmin also will be negative in GIST. Now, these are the morphological pictures, images. You can see a fleshy cut surface, some kind of a nodular appearance is there, bit gray, bit pinkish tan appearance is there. And here you can see proliferation of thin spindle shaped cells, whereas here you can see proliferation of polygonal cells. You can see the polygonal cells or epithelial like cells, which are also having vacuolated cytoplasm at multiple places. So these are the two variants. This is the most common type, and this may also be seen sometime. Sometimes we may encounter a admixture of the two components. So it is more common in 6th decade. Males and females have almost equal incidence, and the mucus, it commonly presents as mucosal ulceration, can cause blood loss, and many of the symptoms are due to pressure effect, and they may present with anemia or related symptoms. And sometimes the GIST may be discovered as a coincidental finding in radiology. Now, coming to the treatment aspect, complete surgical excision resection is usually recommended for localized GIST. The prognosis correlates with the tumor size, mitotic index, and location, with gastric GIST being less aggressive than those arising in small intestine. So, though the gastric GIST are most common types, but the gastric GISTs are generally less aggressive compared to that of the small GIST. GIST can occur anywhere, and gastric GIST being the most common site, but they are usually less aggressive compared to that of small intestinal GIST. And also it has bearing on the size. With the size smaller than 5 centimeter has less chances of recurrence, but the recurrence is fairly common for mitotically active tumors larger than 10 centimeter, because the margin of the tumor resection may not be free, and some amount of tumor may be retained in the body. So that can cause the recurrence of the tumor. And tumors with a mutation in the KIT or PDGFRA, both they respond to the tyrosine kinase inhibitors like imatinib, Gleevec, whereas the tumors without those mutation, succinate dehydrogenase, mutation in the succinate dehydrogenase coding gene, that are usually resistant to imatinib. Imatinib usually does not have any effect on those category of GIST. Now let's wrap up the session with a case discussion. 58-year-old presents to a clinic because he vomited blood. A blood count reveals a hemoglobin of 14 gram per deciliter. He reports that over the past 6 months, he has had a sensation of early fullness after eating a relatively small amount of food. A CT scan of his abdomen reveals a mass in the wall of GIST, in the wall of stomach, and he undergoes a resection. The pathologist notices that the tumor is composed of spindle cells, and the cells show positivity for CD117. So 58-year-old male is there. So the age group is as per the common age group of GIST. and there is a hemoglobin of 14. Over the past year, he has a sensation of early fullness. Now the CT scan is showing mass in the wall of the stomach, so that is very important. And the resection is being conducted, and the tumor is showing spindle cell proliferation, that is positive for CD117. So as we had discussed that CD117 is a fairly sensitive marker for the diagnosis of GIST, and here the tumor is composed of spindle cell and present in stomach, so it clearly establishes the diagnosis of GIST. So that's all for this presentation. Hope you learned the important aspect of the GIST. So just to summarize the GIST, GIST is very common intestinal tumor, more commonly seen in stomach, can be seen in other part of the intestine as well, may present as localized lesions, sometimes present as ulceration of the overlying mucosa, and it composed of spindle cell and epithelioid cell type. And morphology, we see the CD117 and the dog1 protein. These are the most sensitive marker for the diagnosis of GIST. So these are the salient points of GIST we discussed. So please go through this presentation and again to recap the important pathognomic event like various mutations, the morphology, the clinical feature, which are often being asked, and don't forget the Carney syndrome, which we discussed, the Carney triad. So hope you learned the important points, and now you will be able to answer most of the questions pertaining to GIST. So thank you for the patient listening. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video very soon. Please don't forget to give your feedback and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all.